Ever wonder what would happen if Tim Burton made a game? Well, Lost in Random might just be the answer. This game is like a twisted fairy tale come to life where every decision, every roll of the dice, could change everything. Set in the chaotic world of Random, you'll control Even, a young girl on a quest to rescue her sister, Odd, from the tyrannical queen of Random. The catch? Everything in this world is determined by dice. Yeah, it's like living in a board game, but with less chance of landing on go to jail. The visuals are gorgeous. It's like walking through a creepy cute stop-motion animation, where every character looks like they were crafted from a Halloween night dream. But the story's got some depth too, blending whimsy with some serious themes about fate, free will, and dice rolls. It's a game that'll keep you guessing and laughing at how seriously it takes something as silly as dice. Next game is We Happy Few. It takes place in an alternate 1960s England, where everyone's popping happy pills called joy to keep the despair of reality at bay. It's like the ultimate social experiment. Everyone is forced to smile, pretend, and ignore the grim truth. But here's the twist. You're one of the few who don't take the pills. Guess what? The world gets pretty dark when you start seeing things for what they really are. Gameplay-wise, it's a mix of survival, stealth, and a little bit of madness. You'll be sneaking around, crafting items, and trying not to draw attention from the overly cheerful and slightly homicidal citizens. It's like The Truman Show meets The Twilight Zone, but with a lot more sneaky looting and existential dread. Next game is The Sinking City, where you're not just solving crimes, you're battling your own mind as you plunge deeper into madness. Set in a city drowning in both literal and metaphorical floodwaters, you play as Charles Reed, a private investigator with a serious case of the creeps. He's trying to unravel a series of bizarre, supernatural events while struggling to maintain his grip on reality. Spoiler, it's not going too well. The game's set in the 1920s with a Lovecraftian twist, blending dark, atmospheric visuals with a deeply immersive open-world experience. The investigation mechanics? Think Sherlock Holmes, but with more tentacles and weird fish people. You'll use your wits, and a few well-placed gunshots, to uncover the truth behind the city's disturbing secrets. But beware, every answer you uncover seems to lead to a more twisted and unsettling revelation.
What?
Looking for a game that drops you straight into an action-packed nightmare with a side of pure chaos? Trepang 2 is your ticket. This first-person shooter is a high-octane thrill ride that doesn't hold back. You play as a special operative with a mysterious past, and let's just say, the enemies are not your average targets. They're not only relentless, but also pretty eager to show you the business end of their guns. You're immediately thrown into brutal combat that'll make you feel like a one-man army. The game's mechanics are a mix of slow-motion combat, brutal melee attacks, and bullet-dodging madness. Think Max Payne meets Doom. What really stands out is the intense, immersive experience that keeps you constantly on edge. No moment is safe, and every corner could have a surprise waiting for you. With stylish gunplay, AI that actually makes you sweat, and a gripping story, Trepang 2 is like a love letter to fans of high-speed, explosive FPS games. Next up, we have Superland, a game where you'll spend hours solving brain-bending puzzles, exploring a vibrant world, and wondering how you got so obsessed with a red plastic figure. You play as a little hero in a world full of toys and other strange creatures, basically the kind of place where your childhood imagination could run wild. The beauty of Superland lies in its clever combination of first-person platforming and traditional puzzle solving. You'll be running, jumping, and using a variety of cool abilities to unlock new areas and solve puzzles that range from deceptively simple to, wait, how am I supposed to do this? The world is like a giant playground filled with humor, oddball characters, and just enough adventure to keep you hooked. It's got that perfect blend of whimsy and challenge, easy to pick up, but hard to put down. And with its unexpected twists and clever humor, Superland proves that sometimes the simplest games are the most fun. If you're a fan of dark, gritty action RPGs that don't pull punches, Grim Dawn is the game you've been looking for. Set in a world ravaged by apocalyptic chaos, this game throws you into a war between the human remnants and hordes of terrifying supernatural enemies. It's a brutal fight for survival, because when the apocalypse happens, you don't get a sorry, we'll try again later button. What makes Grim Dawn stand out from other ARPGs is its deep, intricate class system that lets you blend skills and abilities to create a completely unique character. Want to be a fiery mage who also swings a big axe? Or how about a sneaky assassin who can summon creatures from the void? That's possible too. The customization options are endless, and the game rewards experimentation, so you'll find yourself lost in the joy of crafting the ultimate hero. The combat is fast, visceral, and, well, grim, with an atmosphere that's heavy on the dark fantasy and light on sunshine and rainbows. Next game is RimWorld. The charm of RimWorld is its unpredictability. Every playthrough is different, with random events popping up to keep you on your toes. Whether it's a solar flare disabling your power grid, or a group of raiders deciding it's a good time to attack, you'll constantly be adapting your strategy. And let's not forget the colonists themselves. They come with their own personalities, quirks, and traumas, making managing them a challenge. One might be a top-tier doctor, but also a pyromaniac who keeps setting things on fire. Fun times. But what makes this game addictive is how the story unfolds on its own. Your decisions shape everything, leading to moments of pure chaos or unexpected triumph. It's like a sandbox for disaster. And who doesn't love a good chaotic disaster every now and then? Next game is Factorio. Imagine building the most complex, mind-bending factory from the ground up, all while trying to avoid getting overwhelmed by millions of moving parts. That's Factorio for you. It's the kind of game where your only goal is to automate everything. No, seriously, everything. You start off with a few simple machines, but before you know it, you've got conveyor belts stretching across an entire planet, all running at full speed, pumping out resources like a well-oiled machine. And don't even get me started on the pollution. It's like the game's way of saying, good luck, buddy. You'll spend hours, and possibly lose sleep, optimizing production lines, solving logistical problems, and battling alien creatures who, for some reason, hate your automated empire. The best part? The more you play, the more obsessed you get. Factorio is like the just one more turn of factory games. It's that addictive. If you haven't played it yet, I'll just say this. You'll be too busy building factories to even realize how much time has passed. Next up, we have The Forgotten City. It's a game that blends murder mystery, time travel, and mind-boggling philosophical questions into one truly unforgettable experience. Set in an ancient Roman city, you're tasked with uncovering a dark secret that could change the course of history. The twist? You're trapped in a time loop. If you mess up and break the mysterious golden rule, basically if someone commits a sin, everyone dies, it's back to square one. So you'll be going through the same events over and over, trying to piece together the puzzle. Think Groundhog Day meets Gladiator with a dose of murder mystery. The Forgotten City has a deep storytelling and the way your choices impact the outcome. There are no right answers, just different paths to explore, each revealing new layers of this ancient enigma. The characters are rich and full of intrigue, and the ancient city itself is as beautiful as it is haunting.
They called me a liar, Billy. Yes. They said I have to live here now, and gave me this letter.
Next is Ghost Runner. It's about to take you on a high-speed, wall-running, neon-drenched journey through a dystopian future where everything is fast, furious, and brutally satisfying. In this cyberpunk action platformer, you play as a cybernetically enhanced ninja who can slice and dice through enemies faster than you can blink. It's like John Wick meets Mirror's Edge, except you're also dealing with a massive futuristic city filled with chaos and deadly foes. The game's core is all about speed and precision. You'll parkour across towering skyscrapers, dodge bullets, and take down enemies with one clean hit. Sounds cool, right? But here's the catch. One hit on you, and it's game over. So yeah, death is always lurking, but that's what makes the game so thrilling. It's about mastering your environment, learning the enemy patterns, and making those perfect, lightning-fast moves. The soundtrack? A pulse-pounding mix of electronic beats that will make you feel like you're starring in your own futuristic action movie. Combine that with tight, fluid combat and a world that feels alive, and you've got a game that demands your full attention.
Your threat level extremely high. Prisoner released.
If you've ever wished for a game that feels like it was plucked right out of your childhood memories of adventure, but with a twist of mystery and difficulty, Tunic is here to fulfill that dream. This charming, isometric action-adventure game casts you as a small fox with a big destiny, exploring a mysterious world filled with secrets, puzzles, and enough danger to keep you on your toes. At first glance, Tunic might seem like a cutesy Zelda-like game, but dig a little deeper and you'll realize there's a lot more going on. The world is filled with cryptic symbols and obscure mechanics that push you to explore every nook and cranny. The catch? The in-game language is a complete mystery to you, so you'll have to piece together what everything means, one cryptic clue at a time. The game's difficulty is also no joke. Bosses are tough, puzzles are mind-bending, and death comes quick if you're not paying attention. But the satisfaction of uncovering secrets, mastering mechanics, and gradually uncovering the story is absolutely worth it. Next game is Sable. It is a unique, soul-soothing experience that invites you to slow down and take in the beauty of an alien desert world at your own pace. You play as Sable, a young girl on her rite of passage to discover who she truly is. This is not a game about combat or chaos, but rather exploration and self-discovery. The world of Sable is vast, vibrant, and utterly captivating, designed in a gorgeous, hand-drawn art style that feels like you're walking through a living painting. As you explore, you'll ride your hoverbike, affectionately called the Speeder, across sprawling sand dunes, ancient ruins, and hidden villages. Each new discovery adds layers to the story, and every puzzle or quest you solve brings you closer to unlocking the mysteries of Sable's world. The gameplay is a meditative experience. There's no rush, no ticking clock, and no real danger. Instead, it's all about taking in the scenery, enjoying the journey, and letting the soothing music and ambient sounds guide you through the landscape. The Pathless invites you into a breathtaking world where you're not just exploring, you're soaring. As a skilled hunter, you'll venture through lush forests, eerie ruins, and wide-open landscapes, all while using your trusty bow to solve puzzles and take down massive enemies. The Pathless has a smooth, free-flowing movement system. Forget about slow trekking. This game has you gliding through the environment at top speed, with your character leaping, dashing, and using a bow that creates magical energy to speed up your exploration. The seamless exploration of the environment will make you feel like you're part of the land itself. The combat is centered around taking down gigantic, corrupted beasts, and to do that, you need precision, agility, and timing. There's a sense of urgency with each fight, but no pressure. It's all about finding the rhythm in each encounter and unleashing your skill when it counts. Picture this. You're stuck in a small apartment, a pleasant evening with your partner turns into an absolute nightmare, and oh yeah, you're reliving the same 12 minutes over and over again. Welcome to 12 Minutes, a mind-bending, time-loop thriller that's equal parts intense, puzzling, and utterly compelling. In this game, you're trapped in a time loop, forced to experience a short window of time repeatedly, where each 12-minute cycle brings you closer to uncovering the truth behind a shocking twist. At the center of the chaos, a domestic dispute, a police officer, and a whole lot of confusion. Your goal is to use your knowledge of the previous loops to manipulate conversations, uncover secrets, and ultimately break free of the cycle. 12 Minutes is unique due to the way it blends interactive storytelling with a real-time puzzle mechanic. Every action, every conversation, every clue counts. The trick is piecing everything together and thinking outside the box, because the answers don't always come in the form you expect. The game's high-stakes atmosphere is amplified by a gripping voice cast, including James McAvoy, Daisy Ridley, and Willem Dafoe, giving it an edge that keeps you invested from the moment it begins.
Someone else.
No playing dumb. Tell me where the watch is.
I'm not lying. Please don't hurt us. Honey, tell him.
He can't help you. Just you and me. Tell me where the watch is, and we all go our separate ways.
I'm telling you, I don't know about any watch.
Okay, let's just see.
You're making a mistake. This is... No, please. Will you? Please. Okay. Just stop, please. I'll tell you. Just don't.
Next game is Kena Bridge of Spirits. It is a gorgeous action-adventure game that feels like playing through a living, breathing animation. You take on the role of Kena, a young spirit guide on a quest to help lost spirits move on and heal a corrupted forest. Sounds peaceful, right? Well, not exactly. There are enemies to fight, puzzles to solve, and some seriously adorable but fierce spirit companions to recruit. The game's visual style is straight-up stunning, with vibrant landscapes, lush forests, and mystical creatures that will make you feel like you're walking through a fairy tale. Kena herself is armed with a staff that transforms into different combat tools, allowing you to take on foes with precision and flair. The combat is fluid, satisfying, and, honestly, really fun. The heart of the game is its emotional depth. As Kena, you're helping spirits find peace, and each one tells a story that tugs at your heartstrings. Plus, your little spirit companions, known as the Rot, aren't just cute, they help you out in puzzles and combat, making them essential to your journey. Next up, we have Atomic Heart. This first-person shooter is set in a dystopian Soviet Union, where strange experiments have turned the world upside down, creating grotesque monsters, malfunctioning robots, and all sorts of bizarre, twisted horrors. Think BioShock meets Wolfenstein, but with a sci-fi horror twist and a whole lot of Soviet flair. You play as a KGB officer, tasked with investigating a research facility gone rogue. But what begins as a standard mission quickly spirals into a full-on nightmare as you face off against terrifying creatures and the haunting remnants of humanity's reckless experiments. You'll have to utilize a variety of weapons, from standard firearms to telekinesis. Yep, you read that right. To survive in this chaotic, terrifying world. The world is lush with retro-futuristic tech, vibrant colors, and creepy atmospheres that make every corner feel unpredictable. The combat is fast-paced, gory, and satisfying, with plenty of strategy involved in taking down different enemies. Imagine a world where time itself breaks down and you've got Quantum Break. This action-packed shooter blends traditional gameplay with cinematic storytelling in a way that feels like a blockbuster film and a video game collided in the best way possible. You play as Jack Joyce, a man who gains time-bending abilities after a failed experiment. These powers allow you to manipulate time, slowing it down, freezing it, or even rewinding it in the middle of combat. Basically, you're the superhero of your own action thriller. The game's plot revolves around a time travel disaster that causes the fabric of time to unravel, and you're tasked with stopping it. The twist? The game's decisions impact not just the story, but the live-action episodes that play out between chapters. Yep, Quantum Break literally integrates TV-style episodes into the game's narrative, making you feel like you're playing through a series while also influencing it. Gameplay-wise, it's a mix of intense gunfights, puzzle solving, and using your time powers to turn the tide of battle. You'll zip around, freeze enemies mid-fire, and make use of your superhuman reflexes to dodge bullets and take down foes. Next game is Don't Starve Together. In this whimsical yet unforgiving world, you and your friends will work together, or let's be real, often against each other, to gather resources, build shelter, and keep the ever-looming darkness at bay. The game's cartoonish art style is deceptively cute, masking the truly horrifying monsters that want nothing more than to eat you alive. From bizarre creatures like the terrifying deerclops to the spooky shadow monsters that creep in when the sun goes down, danger is always lurking around the corner. The best part? You're not just fending off monsters, you're also managing your hunger, sanity, and health, which means there's a constant balance to maintain. Ever seen your friend try to steal the last morsel of food just to go mad from hunger? It's a hilarious yet chaotic experience that brings out both the best and worst in your group. Next game is Greedfall. Set in a 17th century-inspired world full of magic, monsters, and ruthless factions, this action RPG immerses you in a tale of discovery, diplomacy, and deception. You play as Desarde, a diplomat sent to the mysterious island of Tir Fradi to find a cure for a deadly disease ravaging your people. But this is no simple quest. It's a delicate dance between alliances, betrayal, and uncovering the island's many secrets. You're free to decide whether to approach problems with sword in hand, charm in your words, or a mix of both. The game allows for deep customization, so you can shape Desarde's skills and abilities to fit your playstyle. Do you want to talk your way through tricky situations, or is the stab first, ask questions later approach more your style? You decide and the world reacts. The world building is absolutely stellar, with vibrant cities, dangerous wilderness, and fascinating cultures to explore. The faction system adds an extra layer of complexity, as each faction has its own agenda and goals, and the choices you make can change the course of the entire island's future. Last game is The Outer Worlds. It drops you into that chaotic mess, blending witty writing, dark humor, and deep RPG elements into a thrilling space adventure. You play as a passenger on a colony ship lost in space, only to wake up decades later in the middle of a corporate power struggle that threatens the very fabric of the galaxy. The game gives you the option to shape your character's skills, personality, and moral compass. Want to be a charming diplomat who talks your way out of every situation? Go for it. Prefer to let your gun do the talking? That works too. Heck, you could even be the most ruthless psychopath in the galaxy if you feel like it. Everything you do impacts how the story unfolds. The writing is sharp, funny, and at times downright satirical, poking fun at capitalism, corporate control, and even the classic RPG tropes. The world building is top-notch, with different planets, factions, and bizarre characters that will make every moment feel fresh and engaging. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content on the latest and greatest games. Don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss an update. Got a game you'd love to see in a future video? Drop your suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Stay tuned and see you next time.